In today's video, we're gonna be talking about my top 5 favorite books that are worth every penny, that are worth your time. I am not a person that likes to read books. I'm not a person that enjoys reading books, I'll be honest. So if I can read these books, and a ton of other books, by the way, so could you. I'm very proud that over the years, I've created a space where I could share things that have really helped me out, whether it's hair masks, skincare products, different outfits that I really like. I love that I'm able to share this with you. I felt like it's only right to share the books that have really been helping me as well. Like, these books are a must have. Like, you need to add to cart and check out immediately. Click, clack, boom, you're done. It is so good. Some of these books I'm sure you guys have heard of. Some of these books I'm sure you guys haven't heard of. This video was entirely inspired by my followers on Instagram. If you haven't followed me on Instagram just yet, be sure to follow me on there as well. I post there every single day. During my morning routine, you'll see me pour a cup of coffee almost every morning because I love coffee. But I'll also post on occasion the devotional that I read. So let's just start off with book number 1 that you need to buy for yourself, and also I encourage you guys to actually gift it to somebody else. This is the book that I always get asked about. When I see a devotional that I'm just like, oh wow, this could really help somebody else, I'll post it on my Instagram. But this is the Confident Woman Devotional by Joyce Meyer? Oscar Mayer Wiener. So this is 365 daily devotionals. And this was actually recommended by my sister. This is a book that will last you an entire lifetime. The book is pretty much a devotional every single day, but how it works is you start off with a Bible verse, and then the devotional, and then a prayer. And I'll be honest, just for context, I'm a Christian. I'm sure there are devotionals or books like this for other religions as well, but sometimes with Bible verses, for me, being 100% transparent, I'm just like, what is he trying to say here? Like, I'm just like, So what I really love about devotionals, about this one in particular, is she ties in that Bible verse and the topic of the day and just how it can relate to your day-to-day life. And then what my favorite part is it ends with a prayer. So every devotional has a topic for the day. What's this one? God gives the victory. Oh, this is cute. That was so random. What date is this? April 27th. Oh, almost my birthday. Okay. It'll start off with a topic for the day, the verse, her devotional, and then a mini prayer right over here. How cute is that? I do have to add that these books that I'm recommending are for people that love to read, but especially for the people that don't like to read. These books will literally have you like, what? Hold on. What did you mean by that? Like, elaborate. This book is incredible. I would highly recommend to get it for yourself, to get it for a special person in your life as well. Again, it centers around women and women's experiences. Also pulls in stories from the Bible related to women. Read it. Let me know what you think. It is so good. All the links are in my description box as well. Okay, so this next book, legitimately, I started listening to. I was huge on like audiobooks, and it was so good that I had to purchase it physically. And it's Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty. Incredible book, incredible podcast. And through his podcast, I got to buy even more books. We'll get into that a little later. But this is an incredible book. If you're kind of apprehensive about meditation and you think, oh my God, no, my mind just keeps wandering and things like that, it goes into best practices and teachings that he learned while he was in the monk, I think it's a monastery. I believe he was a monk for about 3 years, and he goes into all the best practices and the best teachings that he's experienced and put it into this book, which I think is incredible to read, especially if you are a person that's just like, I don't know about meditation, like I'm just like, it's not for me. Or even how like our mindset is when we are speaking to ourselves or speaking about others and things like that. This book goes into the nitty-gritty, honey. It is very good. Train your mind for peace and purpose every day. Legit, through and through, page after page, this is what he talks about. I know he has another book, 8 Languages of Love or something like that. I haven't read that one yet, but I do have it in my shopping cart, so I'm probably gonna get that too. And the thing is, it's like, if you can get your hands on the audiobook too, 10 out of 10. Because it goes into guided meditations. Honey, sign me up for a guided meditation by Jay Shetty? What? Like, highly recommend, 10 out of 10. You need this book. But especially for those that are just like, I don't like meditation. It's not for me. It'll be for you. Trust me. And also, his podcast, On Purpose, is really good as well. It got me into learning about different people in that, I guess, spiritual space. And I got to reading their books. And one person that he had on his show was Deepak Chopra. I was too young at the time, but I remember he has this interview with Oprah, and he was talking about pretty much spirituality and things like that. But anyway, years later, obviously, I got into what Deepak Chopra was all about, and I was watching interviews and stuff like that. Jay Shetty, in that podcast, mentioned his book. You know how AD, like Architectural Digest, will have their version of MTV Cribs? They had Big Sean do a tour of his house, and he talked about this book. I'm like, oh my God, there's that book again. So it's just like, I'm like, maybe this is a sign to pick up this book. Anyway, this is the cutest, perfect book that you need. When I tell you, I think everybody this year is gonna get this book from me. So this book is The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra. I think this book is less than $10. Audio, it's less than an hour long, but I've listened to it multiple times because it's only an hour. So it's like almost like a podcast or when I'm going on a walk and stuff like that. But this book just goes into such a flow of understanding and how to be just a better elevated version of yourself. Reading this title, it makes you almost believe that it's a book about, how to make money, or like, you know what I mean? It's just like, no. And the concept of money in this book is just mind-blowing. So again, I would highly recommend it. It is such a cute book. Again, if you are a person that does not like to read, you have to pick up this book. I'm telling you, it is baby food. It's giving double lines. Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, it's giving space. So it's really not that jarring. It's not that big of a deal. And I'm sure, I know for a fact you guys will love this book. So this book has seen better days, clearly, but given the Post-its and the notes and things like that, this book is everything. This book, I've read multiple times. I think I've read it 3 times at this point. Very good, 10 out of 10. It's a funny twist on really how to be the best version of yourself. She does an amazing job of putting it into words and being like, girl, it's not that deep. Just stand up. This book is You Are a Badass, How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living an Awesome Life. This book by Jen Sincero? I believe that's how you pronounce it, Sincero. This book is everything. This book is so good. I posted this book on my Instagram, and when I tell you, just floods of DMs came through. Just been, oh my God, I have this book. I just haven't picked it up. I have this book. I read it halfway through. I'm reading it halfway through. I'm putting it down because I've already learned so much. That's what this book is about. Like, you know what I mean? Again, read it to the end, but I'm telling you, this book will give you, let me put this down because I have a new outlook. And the reason why I've had physical copies of the book, because it's kind of nice to open it up, go through something I've noted, something I've highlighted, and just get a refresher and to get a reminder. It's really, really good. And the last and final book that I'm about to share with you guys is none other than, and I know everybody's read this book, but I have to share it anyway because it's so good. The Atomic Habits by James Clear. This book will literally make you think that you are unstoppable because you are unstoppable. If that makes sense. Are you with me? Are you with me? Are you with me? Are you with me? But it's true. It's definitely giving, make your bed and you will be a millionaire type of vibe. That tiny habit, those tiny habits to be like this huge impact in your life. Obviously, by the title itself. Oh, wait, well, there you go. Tiny changes, remarkable results. It's true. But what I really love about this, it goes into different case studies. Ooh, give me a book with a case study? Honey, I'm sold. I'm sold. Because for me, I'm just like, okay, that's nice in theory, but how do you apply it? That's my kind of like way of learning. I have to go through the experience in order to really understand and really be like, okay, yeah, that's for me. That's not for me. This goes into even his experience of how he's gotten to this point. Like, you know what I mean? Starting off, I believe he started off blogging. And then people just started signing up for his email list. And then it just kind of evolved and grew and grew and grew and grew. Here's an example. Speaking of case studies, why don't I give you an example? In his book, he shares, I believe it was like a girl. She was having a hard time at work or whatever the case may be. And she had so many tasks that she needed to get done. And so she put paper clips in one cup and she had another cup that was empty. And every time she finished a task, she would take that one paper clip and put it in the empty one, filling it up. And so eventually, we know how the story goes, the paper clips started filling up and filling up and filling up, and she ended up getting all of her things done. I listened to that, and then I remembered what I actually put in practice when I was feeling overwhelmed. I would write Post-it notes all over my wall. Just any idea that I would have, I'd write it down and stick it on the wall in my office. And there was like a pillar. And anytime I accomplished a video, I would move over the Post-it to the other side. When I tell you, there was no greater feeling than moving a Post-it to the other side. Whew, honey, it just brought so much excitement. It didn't matter if that video got 1,000 views. It didn't matter if that video got 100. It didn't matter if that video got 10 views. The fact that I moved it from one side of that wall to the other side of the wall, there was no greater feeling. If I would forget to move the Post-it once I hit upload, which would happen sometimes, because I would have like another thing that I need to get done or whatever. And when I remembered, I would get so excited. I would run to the office and be like, oh my God, I get to move the Post-it. Oh my God, I can move this. I can move this over, it's done. I think with these books, it's just like the pregame to like really taking it to the next level and not waiting until January for a New Year's resolution. This year I made a point to actually start now, not wait till Monday. Ooh, my God, no. Let me know if you've read any of these books and if you are going to read any of these books. These are 5 books that I've actually reread multiple times, more than twice. I kid you not.